What is going on YouTube and Diablo fans? My name's Andreas and as always welcome back to Mana and Motherboards. Today we are further feeding my gambling addiction and we are going to be spending another 10 million gold on some rings. So I think rings is the target for today. Our last video, if you check that out, I'll put a link in the description. We were gunning for some amulets, and we gave Anya a good old try and spent 10 million gold on some amulets and didn't really get anything all that fantastic. So we already have a High Lords, which I'm using for my Echoing Strike build at the moment, and it's doing very well, so I don't think we necessarily need to do anything in terms of amulet at the moment. I'm quite happy with that, but rings could use a little bit of an improvement. I am happy with the sling ring at the moment, but you know, any upgrades are always welcome, and this dual leech ring could be a little bit better. So let's kick it off. We're going to be spending 10 million gold on rings, and we've got 2.5 million right now. We'll keep on topping that up from our shared stash tab. And yeah, we are just looking for any sort of upgrade. So it could be an SOJ, it could be a nicer sling ring. We want to find that new ring, that opal vein. A BK ring would be cool. Any rare ring with FCR and res and life, mana, that sort of stuff would be fantastic. Any sort of dual leech FCR ring, that would be huge to find. I mean, this ring right here is kind of cool, nothing that fantastic, but yeah, it's quite a funny thing. Like, I absolutely hate gambling in real life. I am not a gambler by any means or in any way, and the one thing I really don't mind is gambling in D2R. Like, I actually really enjoy gambling in D2R, but yeah, in real life I am not a gambling person at all. I don't know if I should read into that too much or not, but that's just the fact of what it is. So we didn't get anything spectacular on our first pass there, so here is the second run for finding some rings. Let's check what we have going on here. How are you guys finding the season so far? I think this new Diablo fresh breath of life is an absolutely fantastic thing. Sorry, my wife's coffee machine is going off in the background there. I hope it goes off quickly. Yeah, I'm really enjoying this new season. I've still got a whole lot of enthusiasm for it. I feel like I've just started, even though it's 2 weeks in already now. I think getting that enigma has just really opened up the game for me and allow me to just explore and farm so many different areas and different aspects of the game. I mean, I still need to do those uber colossal ancients. I'm busy farming up a whole lot of keys now to do a bunch of regular ubers so that I can possibly get a Warlock torch, because that will be absolutely huge for my character at the moment. And I mean, even if I don't get a Warlock torch, just any torch for the extra stats and res will be very welcome whilst I try and get a Warlock torch. But I'm feeling lucky. Like I said, the in-game gambling addiction is going strong, and I think I'm going to find a Warlock torch when we hunt for that soon. So I'm just topping up my gold again here quickly. It is time to go for round number 2. So we just spent 2.5 million gold, didn't really find anything. I mean, also, like in the last video with the amulets, everyone was like, oh, you missed like a super nice low level dueling amulet there. I don't know PvP all that well, and maybe there's some low-level dueling stuff that I miss out on, and I apologize if I do, but that's not really my thing. I'm more of a PvM player versus monster player and just playing the content of the game. Maybe one day I'll give PvP a try, but for the moment it's just PvM for me. I wonder if we are even going to get any uniques in this gambling bout here. So there we got a FCR ring, but nothing else really that good on it. It seems like 15 res on that ring, that magic ring. That's pretty crazy. Yeah, it seems like gambling is a real proper legit gamble in this game. You don't always find something good. I must say I'm being very conflicted at the moment because I'm very tempted to switch over to the Abyss Miasma Bold and start playing a bit more with that, because I feel like my gear can really sort of support that bold at the moment. But the thing is, I do want to do the Ubers at the moment, and I think that Echoing Strike will just do so much better for the Ubers, so that is why I'm staying Echoing Strike just whilst I do that whole Uber run now. And then once I've done the Ubers, then excuse me, still a bit sick. Once I've done the Ubers, then we can look at playing around with some different bolds. I think the Miasma bold, while not as strong as the Echoing Strike bold, offers a lot of diversity in its play style, and sort of it's more of an involved play style than standing still and just flinging out your weapon with Echoing Strikes. I think that the dynamic feel of casting your miasma chains and positioning and how you use your lethargy sigil as well as Abyss together, it's a bit more of a dynamic playstyle and a bit more exciting, so to speak. And also I think visually it just looks really stunning, all that arcane pink and purple going off on your screen. That was quite a cool ring that I just sold, the All Res and MF. That was probably quite a cool ring that I just sold off, but YOLO. Yeah, so also in the past week I have been doing a ton of trap runs and trying to put a bit of a Magic Find video together for the Chronicle, the High Council in Act 3, and I've been finding some cool stuff, and you should definitely stay tuned for that video. And the one thing I will say is high runes are not as easy to find as you may think from Trav, at least in my experience, and I know some people have some crazy good luck there, but personally it's been so. I guess you'll have to wait for that video to find out. But other than that, I mean, the facets that you drop from the Trav and the charms, the items, it's a super good place to farm. Wow, let's get some more rings going here. I've also really been considering doing some live streams, and I'd love to hear if you guys would be keen to join in on some live streams, join me for some games, maybe do some terrorized acts, terrorized games, just get a bit more sort of community playing going. I'd love to play with a lot more of you guys on ladder softcore, so please let me know in the comments below if you'd like to do some live streaming together. I think that could be pretty awesome. So nothing again so far on this gambling bout. We have spent 5 million, we're on to our next 2.5 million here, and so far coming up a bit dry. I guess that is the nature of the beast here. You either luck out or you strike out. I do have my, I think it's called Edge, my Edge bow here to reduce the vendor prices, as well as my Geeds to reduce the vendor prices, so that's a overall 30% reduction in vendor price, so that I can get a little bit more bang for my buck here. I have a feeling we gotta get a nice upgrade soon. You know, when you've just had a string of bad luck and you know something great is just around the corner, that's what I feel like I am sitting at right now. I'm stuck in a rut and something good has to be just around the corner. I'd also love to hear in the comments below from you guys, what sort of content do you enjoy watching the most on the channel? Like, just from my YouTube analytics and all of that, it seems like, oh, we got a set ring. It seems like everyone likes the magic find and gambling and that sort of style of video the most. I mean, I know also when I watch some other channels that I get the same sort of dopamine hit as the person playing who I'm watching when they find something cool. So I can completely understand that sort of the magic find videos are very popular and very cool. But other than the magic find videos, do you like the build guides? Do you like the sort of like theory crafting and meta stuff? Do you like to hear about what Blizzard is doing with upcoming changes to the game? What sort of stuff are you keen to look at, and what kind of stuff are you keen to watch? I'd really like to hear that, and I'm really curious. So we are moving on to our last 2.5 mil to make that 10 mil gambling streak for us, and so far no luck really, but we are not done yet. So there we go, we have withdrawn our last amount of money there. So we spent just over 10 mil. That extra that's in my inventory right now, we'll just spend a little extra. So if I look at my inventory space now, that is about, what's 4 times 7? 28 or so. So we get about 30 rings or so when we fill our inventory, and we've done that like 10 times or more now. Let's see what we got. I was watching a Mr. Llama SC. I think if you watch Diablo channels on YouTube, you'll definitely know Mr. Llama, and you'll know what I'm talking about. And he was going over a survey that Blizzard did recently with its consumers and, you know, a select group of people about what changes they would potentially implement into Diablo 2 Resurrected in the future. And I personally found that a very interesting video, and I think maybe I'll also give a little sort of reaction and my opinion on the questions that were asked in that survey, because I think on one hand there were some very good suggestions about what could be implemented into D2R, and then I didn't even see that ring I just sold. I'm completely zoning out now. Yeah, I think there's some good suggestions that they made there, and there are also some terrible suggestions. So some of the stuff I think shouldn't come near D2R with a poll. Don't ruin this game for us. And then some of the stuff I think is really, really cool and would be a great addition and implementation. So it's exciting times to see what could potentially come to the game, but I think they have to tread so carefully. There's a FCR ring, nothing too special. It's exciting to see what could come to the game, but I'm also very cautious because, I mean, this game is an institution. It's an established thing for the last 2.5 decades that have kept us all going, and we love it for what it is. And you know, there's certain things that could work for it and other things that could just absolutely ruin it. So I really hope Blizzard treads carefully with this, but at the same time not so carefully that, you know, they don't add anything of value or anything cool to the game. But that is our gambling streak. I am sorry to disappoint you guys. I think I'm quite disappointed myself. I think spending 10 million on rings, I would have expected something better than, I mean, these rings are nothing that I found here. So to be honest, I think this is almost worse than our amulet gambling of 10 million gold. I hope you enjoyed my rambles. I hope you enjoyed this quick video and this gambling for rings for 10 million gold. If you did like this content, please consider subscribing to the channel. Any views, likes, shares, anything like that is always very much appreciated. And please again let me know what you would like to see more of on the channel. And without further ado, let's call it a bit of an end of the video right there. We've got some very exciting stuff coming up this week. We've got hundreds and hundreds of trap runs for you to have a look at and see what we found there. We've got some terrorized zones runs. We're going to be running some Ubers. So there is some very exciting content coming out for you. And we'll catch you again very soon for some more Mana and Motherboards. Cheers.